So you're telling me I have to have money? I can't just give you 2 bottles of water and my necklace for it? No, it's okay. Bye. Fourth graders, I was just reading that back in the day, they didn't even use money. They were able to just trade what they had to get what they needed. Isn't that awesome? I can see advantages and disadvantages, but we are going to look at this book today and figure out all about how money started and figure out how do people earn money, and I cannot wait. Mrs. Lawson here, and we are starting a brand new book today, and this just fits perfectly in with what we've been reading because it is going to teach us all about money. So I wish Greg was here watching this because he would love this lesson. We are starting this book called Using Money. So it's all about understanding money, and we are just going to read the first few pages today. So our learning intention, we are learning to use reasons and evidence in the text to explain the author's main idea about money. We know we are successful when we can find details in the text, identify the main idea of the text, and identify supporting details. So our vocabulary today is value. So I'm going to ask you a question, fourth graders. Does a penny have more value or a quarter? What do you guys think? Well, would it help you if I told you the value is what something is worth? So which one is worth more? That quarter, right? It's worth 25 cents, where that penny is just worth 1. So it has more value. What about allowance? So Greg got an allowance from his parents when he cleaned around the house. He saved his allowance instead of spending it. So what does allowance mean? It is a sum of money paid regularly to a person, typically if they meet certain needs. So if you get an allowance, if you do your chores maybe, but that is what Greg did. So for our foundational skills today, we are focusing on Latin roots. So we're going to focus on gener and port. Can you think of any words that have this as a root word inside their word? Well, I was thinking of the word general. So it has the Latin root gener, which can mean birth or to produce. The word gener can also mean kind or type. So this word general, it refers to every member of a specific group. What about the other base word port? I was thinking of porter. So a porter, it has that Latin root port meaning to carry. So the word port means someone who carries things. So knowing the meaning of these roots can often help you understand the meaning of words with these certain roots. So while you read today, you're going to be reading Pioneer Picnic. Focus on those Latin roots. You have general, portable, generate. So really focus on those and see if you can figure out the meaning while you're reading. So as we said in our learning intention, today's focus is main idea. Readers can better understand the informational text if they analyze the ideas in a text and identify the main idea and those supporting details. So I want you to pause this video and go ahead and make your own main idea and key details chart, because throughout this lesson, we are going to be filling this out together. So just for today, we are going to be reading these first 2 sections in this table of contents. It tells us when did people start using money and where do people get money. Also, we're going to look at the index in case we need any help with anything in that glossary. So you can find the answer to solve it questions in the back of the book too. So there's going to be some questions they want us to solve. Some words are shown in bold like this. You can find out what they mean by looking in the glossary on page 46. So fourth graders who've learned that if there are vocabulary words that are bold, there's usually a place for us to find the meaning. So let's go ahead and hop in. On this first page, we want to stop. According to the text, how has money changed since ancient times? So since really long time ago, how has money changed? And I gave you a little hint at the beginning. When did people start using money? Before people used money to pay for things, they bartered or traded to get things they needed. For example, a farmer and a fisherman might decide to barter. They would trade crops and fish with no money involved. Ancient money. Around 6000 BCE, people started using cows, sheep, and crops as early forms of money. Each region or area assigned values to these animals and food items. For example, 3 bunches of wheat might buy a knife. Early forms of money, such as sheep, were hard to carry around and could not be saved for later use. So we're still focusing on that same question, how has money changed? There were problems with these early forms of money. Animals could get sick and crops could become rotten, so they could not be saved and used later. They were also hard to carry around. As a result, around 1850 BCE, people started using small metal lumps called ingots as money. Modern money. Around 640 BCE, the government of Lydia, which is part of present-day Turkey, created the first coins made from metals, such as gold and silver. The coins were stamped with pictures of gods and goddesses. Around 800 CE, paper money was invented in China. These bills had the same value as metal coins, but they were lighter and easier to carry. Instead of carrying around 10 metal coins worth 10 cents each, the person could carry one paper dollar bill. Today, everyone around the world uses money to pay for things they want and need. Each country has its own currency that is made up of different denominations of coins and bills. So here is money from different countries has different names. Several examples are pictured here, including pesos from Mexico, euros from Austria, and shillings from Kenya. So if we look back, what did they do at the very beginning instead of the money we use today? Yeah, it says they traded to get things they needed. So if a fisherman had like 5 fish, they'd be like, hey, I'll give you 5 fish for 2 of your bushels of wheat. And they would trade because they didn't have money. Then it kind of got different. They decided to give each thing some value. So they said that 3 bunches of wheat equals a knife. Then they realized, that wasn't working. Animals and food goes rotten. So they changed it to those coins. Then what was wrong with the coins? They're heavy. They take up a lot of space. So they invented the paper money we use today. Pretty cool. I never knew some of that. So where do people get money? Adults receive paychecks from their jobs or returns, money earned on their investments. This is the money they use. Where do you get money that you can use? So as a kid, where can you guys get money? Gifts. Have you ever received cash in a birthday card? Has a grandparent ever mailed you a check as a Christmas present? When you are young, gifts might be one of your main sources of money. Allowance. Do you get a weekly or monthly allowance? Do your parents pay you for doing regular jobs such as cleaning a room? Every family is different. If your allowance is small or if you do not get an allowance, do not worry. There are other ways to get your own money. What can you do with your money? So you can save it, put money aside for big expenses or spending later. You can spend it, buy things you need and want. You can invest it. You can use your money to make more money, or you can share it, give money away to help others. So really quick, I see a bold word here, investments in check. So we're going to practice using that glossary. So can you guys find either of those words? I think investment is kind of a hard word. So let's look for that one. It's in alphabetical order, so I'm going to go all the way to I, and there it is. Investment, anything bought with the expectation that it will increase in value and earn money. So you're specifically buying it because you're like, hey, in a few years I can sell that and make money off of it. Or you think it might grow money as you have it. What about a check? It is a written document that tells a bank to pay a person. So that's like a note to the bank saying, hey, pay this person this much money. Extra chores. Relatives or neighbors might pay you for doing extra chores. These are usually bigger jobs such as mowing the lawn, washing the car, raking the leaves, or cleaning the garage. If your neighbors or relatives do not offer, you can ask if they have jobs you can do. Selling things. If your family has a garage sale or a yard sale, see if you can sell some of your old things. You can sell toys, clothes, or books. You can also sell things that you make, such as bead bracelets or artwork. Solve it. So Jack receives $10 on his birthday, $5 for raking Mrs. Smith's yard, and his monthly allowance of $16. How much money does Jack receive? Ooh. So see if you can work that out. Figure out how much money does Jack have. If you are willing to work, you can find many ways to earn your own money. Okay, guys, I warned you, it's time to fill out that main idea and key details chart. We're going to specifically focus on one section of what we read today, and we're going to start on page 6. And a good place to start is to always look at your headings. It says, where do people get money, and what can you do with your money? So, what do you guys think the main idea is? Yeah, I think it is. There are many ways to get money and to use it. So pause this video if I'm going too fast and make sure you get that written down as the main idea. Because next, we're going to go and look back and try and figure out some of the key details. So let's first focus on this part, getting money. How do people get it? So let's focus specifically on adults. So it says adults receive paychecks from their job or returns on their investments. This is the money they use. So for adults, we just figured out they get their money from their paychecks from their jobs and investments. Now, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next key detail. So how do kids get money? So I'm going to give you a few seconds, see if you can figure out how are some ways that kids can get money. So hopefully you figured out that there are a few different ways that kids can make money. You can get them from gifts, and if you really focus, they're all on these headings. Gifts, allowance, what were the other ones? Gifts, allowance, extra chores, and selling things. And now we've talked about the ways to get money. Our last focus is how do people use it? What do they do with the money once you get it? And it's down here in that special chart. There are 4 different things you can do with money when you get it. You can save it, spend it, invest it, or share it. So just like that, we were able to take that section of the text, use our headings, and find those key details that support our main idea. Great job, 4th graders. Now, where could you look to figure out what a check is? Lucky for you, we already did it, right? Go back in that glossary, find that check, and look at that meaning, guys. That glossary is so important for those hard words. They will help you understand and figure out what's going on. Now, for your reading response today, what is one new thing you learned about money? And then I want you to write, what is one thing you want to learn about money? We're going to be reading this book for a few lessons, and you never know. What you want to learn is something we might be covering in a lesson that's coming up. So have a great rest of your day, 4th graders. Bye. I can't wait to see you next time.